to kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you're trying to go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Better kill it.
DJ all the way. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back David Johnson, fresh off 100 yards on the ground a week ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's got his target. That's more. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 22. On 1st down, Wentz, complete, it's Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards on 1st, 4 on 2nd, and now 5 on 3rd down. Move the sticks. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll try and run with their fullback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Into the red zone. Wentz. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Johnson on the counter. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Now Wentz. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. They moved the ball pretty well there on the opening drive. You think they're okay settling for 3?
I don't think they're happy about settling for 3, but I think you're exactly right with the word okay, because they threw it well, they ran it well. Excellent balance for the first drive of the game.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A first down throw, Darnold. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Pick it up. 51 the mic, boy. 51. Watch the curve. Watch the lady. Switch. Hey, I need one over here.
Here is Eckler. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Bravo. 34's the mic. 34's a Mike. He's coming. Check him. Check him.
Let's go. Hey, go, Mike.
Darnold on first down. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Let's go.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down, Eckler. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Eckler with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now Johnson trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing on second down. Wentz got his man. It's Eifert. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz caught Eifert over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, If you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On second down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face a third down. The Eagles on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. Rosa's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Red 80. Hey, Delta. Check. Fresno.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Got a man open. That's Harry.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, T. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They run. This is Scarborough. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. To throw, it's Wentz.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Wentz. And he's got the hook up to Moore. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Wentz. This complete to Jones. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Wentz now to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Throwing is Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Julio Jones. As the first half is winding down, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
Yeah, touchdown. I love it. Now it's only a 2-point game. I know it's the first half, but you got to think. Go for 2. Tie it up. Go into the locker room. What are you doing? Come on.
You're bold. You're bold.
It's real easy to be bold sitting up here rather than down there and making that decision.
We don't have to make those decisions. Either way, little time left on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll see how this all plays out. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A final shot before the break. Darnold letting one fly deep for Cooper. It's caught inside the 25. So a very tight first half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On first down, Darnold. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll be out right at the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Running on first down, Eckler. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Darnold completes it, and he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Wentz. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdown.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 50. Lady, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike. Watch the run.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run here with Eckler. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 1st down gains.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
To throw is Darnold. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, Orbit.
Hey, Mike 51. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Go. Mike 51. Let's go, D.
On 4th down, Darnold. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Wentz. Finding Green complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Eifert has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And the catch good. It's Eifert. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point 4th quarter lead. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz, I think this is going to be a free play. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
The penalty helps a bit, but still 8 yards to go on 3rd down for this offense. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And Rosas puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Catch is made by Harry. 25 yards that time.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Come on, switch it.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Hey, check Mike 34. Mike 34.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And this is Shepard on the catch. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Cooper was the target there. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Frank Clark, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
To try again after the sack. Wentz got his man. It's Eifert. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, Wentz. Green brings it in. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The tackle credited to Jamal Agnew. Back to throw. He's got Green. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. Now Wentz. Complete. It's Johnson.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down. He's back to throw. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run it with Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of 1, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 2, 27 seconds to go. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got a man open, that's Harry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. One last throw down for Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.